The Immigration Department arrests 45 members of an illegal immigrant transporters network. Temeke District Commissioner suspends construction of Lumo Secondary School. And in sports, TFF condemns Simba Sports Club spokesperson discriminatory comments against Yanga Sports Club fans. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Nasma Mwambe. Let's get started with the national news. The Immigration Department has arrested 45 members of an illegal immigrants transporters network, as well as vehicles used to transport immigrants, which includes 13 cars, 16 motorcycles, and 2 boats. Speaking in Dodoma, the Commissioner General of Immigration, Dr. Anna Makakala, said that the number of illegal immigrants entering the country has increased from the Horn of African countries, particularly Ethiopia.
The Immigration Department from January to now has arrested 15,266 illegal immigrants. This is a very big number, but what is disappointing is that they are unpatriotic citizens who are aiding them. I commend security and safety organs for their cooperation. Together with the Immigration Department, we've been able to work together.
The District Commissioner of Temeke Dar es Salaam Region, Gordon Gondwe, has directed suspension of construction of Lumo Secondary School at a disputed plot between residents and Temeke Municipal until decision may be by the court on the dispute. The latest development comes following reports early this week on ITV, the dispute which has lasted for 22 years since 1998.
You must also attend the hearing. If there is anyone sabotaging this case, you will be cheating your own selves. In 22-23 years, no government leader has dared to come and resolve this conflict. I'm surprised that this matter has never been resolved. I ask that it is resolved.
Women with disabilities in Handeni District, Tanga region have expressed concern on challenges they face when following up on loans issued by the municipal district for people with disabilities. They expressed their complaints to the District Commissioner of Handeni, Toba Nguvila.
I can't see. Where would I get 500 for water? I've been asking for a loan, but I'm still waiting.
Manga oye. Sambona muitiki. Menuna. Kikundi hakiundwi na afisa maendeleo ya jamii. Kikundi mnakiunda wenye.
Afisa maendeleo ya jamii wa wilaya, mkuu wa idara na msaidizi wako wa kata.
Social development officers must come tomorrow to form 2 groups, one for women and the second for youths.
Vice President Samia Suluhu Hassan has commended the Association of Women Contractors in the country for creating the association which is supporting women who are graduating into the profession.
Na niwapongeze kwa kufanya umoja wenu au ushirika wenu wa makontrakta wanawake.
I know that there is many of you, more than 143. There are those at a high level who are getting work. But what you have done is a positive step because there is power in unity. And if you continued to work alone, then jobs will continue to be hard to find. A lot of us lack equipment, so we've come to ask the government to loan us some equipment.
Tanzania Communication Regulatory Authority, TCRA, says it is in the final stages of completing construction of a telecommunication equipment and a mobile phone manufacturing factory.
Cha namna hiyo kinapoanzishwa kinahitaji mafundi wenye ujuzi angalau
When a factory of that kind is started, it requires experienced workers on the type of mobile phones we speak of today.
President of Zanzibar and the chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Mwinyi, has said that he has started to see shortcomings in execution of responsibilities by some leaders and that he has begun to take action, even though some might not like it, but he will not be stopped as he has pledged to work for the people of Zanzibar. President Dr. Mwinyi made a statement when addressing Muslims at the Friday prayers held at Istikama Mosque in Shangani.
Kufanya kazi. Nimeona kasoro zilizopo, ninataka kurekebisha.
I've seen the shortcomings and I want to rectify them, and in doing so there will be waves. One, many people will be happy because they will benefit, and there is a few who will not be happy because in the old system they are the ones who benefited.
The government, through the Ministry of Health, Community Development, Gender and Elderly and Children, has called on the National Institute of Medical Research to come up with revenue-generating sources and to strengthen cooperation with other institutions in order to be more efficient. The call was made in Dar es Salaam by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Professor Mabula Mchembe, during the climax of the 14th anniversary of National Institute of Medical Research.
NIMRI was formed, the law is very clear, it is for medical research.
Na kuna wataalamu wengine ambao
There are experts who can produce medicine at a safe standard, but also hygienically. But there are a lot more in villages whose ability to produce medicine in a clean environment is still a challenge.
3 people have been arrested by the police force in Geita in possession of 6 packs of carbon with gold minerals at Mars Gold Processing Plant as they were about to refine the minerals without a permit.
They must be placed under arrest. The sacks contain gold, so they must be kept safe. Investigation must be done swiftly. We've just commenced investigation. A full report will be issued later. To disguise it, they had poured water on it.
And that is the end of the national news. International news comes next after the break. And in international news, President Uhuru Kenyatta has warned Western countries that Kenya can deal with its own challenges without depending on foreign support or interference. He made a statement during the launch of a plan aimed at reviving the economy in the countries which have been affected by the coronavirus pandemic.
I also wish at this juncture to thank all our development partners who have collaborated with us during this period, but also before, and who we look forward to partnering with in the future as we seek to fulfill our social economic objectives as lined out by our own Vision 2030, as outlined in our African Union strategy, as well as the SDGs. We truly appreciate all our development partners who work closely with us to achieving this agenda, and indeed, as was stated, we thank the offices of the United Nations and all the other development partners.
The head of military training from Tanzania People's Defense Force, TPDF, has urged peacekeepers from Tanzania under the United Nations Organization Stabilization Mission, MONUSCO, in the Democratic Republic of Congo to continue ensuring security of citizens of the country, particularly in Beni, from rebel attacks.
long time, they have been doing a good job, and we ask them to continue doing so. The aim of this tour is to see preparations for the new forces brought by the United Nations.
The Ministry of Burundi has warned that travelers who violate coronavirus health regulations being implemented in order to curb the spread of the virus. The warning comes as some returning travelers have been found to avoid quarantine regulations.
We've noticed that there are a lot of citizens who travel outside the country without a medical certificate. So from now on, we will have doctors at the borders to verify certificates.
And that is the end of international news. Business comes next after the break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
And in business news, Zanzibar Revenue Board has started the second phase of distribution of electronic fiscal devices to entrepreneurs in Pemba and Unguja after successful implementation of the first phase.
Ndio tunaanza kuzigawa kwa wingi sana.
And who is supposed to issue a receipt? It is for any service received, be it from the government, its institutions, or businesses.
Hivi ndio tunaendelea sasa kuendelea kugawa, inaweza ikachukua labda mwezi mmoja au.
This has done away with cheating because when a receipt is issued, there is communication.
The Ministry of Natural Resources and Tourism has signed an agreement with the Federation of Tourism Association, which aims to open discussion on how to address nuisance fees in the tourism sector.
Tukaweza kusikiliza agenda zipi, mambo gani wanapata shida.
We spoke to them about challenges faced and on areas where we can offer assistance.
Tozo ambazo na leseni ambazo.
Charges and license costs are too high, meaning that we cannot compete. The tourism business is global and countries involved offer same products as ourselves.
CRDB Bank, through its savings promotion of Jipetano, has set aside school fees and school items for children as prizes for customers who will put savings in the bank's Junior Jumbo account.
Na watu ambao watashinda ada.
Winners will be awarded with school fees for their children.
Lakini vile vile wale ambao wako kwenye shule za serikali wanaweza wakajishindia.
Kwa ningeomba tu kuwakumbusha wateja na wale ambao si wateja wetu.
We invite our customers and new customers to join CRDB Bank through our branches and agents.
And that is the end of business news. Sports comes next after the break.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's been dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 minutes. Opposition, Joaquinho. He did lose to Lend.
And in sports, Tanzania Football Federation TFF has condemned Simba Sports Club spokesperson Haji Manara's comments on why rival fans should be barred from attending the CAF Champions League tie against Plateau United of Nigeria. Here's the story.
During a press conference on Wednesday, claimed fans who are not Simba supporters should not be allowed to watch the game and should instead watch it at their own homes. In response, TFF has stated the right of everyone to watch games irrespective of the team supported is anchored by both its own and FIFA statutes. Meanwhile, Simba Sports Club have also confirmed unspecified disciplinary action has been taken against their spokesman Haji Manara over his statement that rival fans will not be allowed to attend the CAF Champions League tie against Plateau United.
Azam FC have confirmed George Luandamina as their new head coach effective immediately. Here is more.
The ice cream makers have been under Vivier Bahati, who was serving on an interim basis. The 2014 champions are optimistic the arrival of the experienced Zambian will help the team perform well in the remainder of the season. We are happy to unveil Zambian George Luandamina as our new coach on a one-year contract, the club announced last night. Luandamina has also coached Mufulira Wanderers, Green Buffaloes and Red Arrows. The Zambian coach will take from Vivier Bahati, who has been coaching the 2014 champions on an interim basis. The Burundian led Azam to a 1-0 draw in his first game in charge a couple of days ago.
Roselle Westport is headed to the Washington Wizards and John Wall is moving to the Houston Rockets in a significant swap of points guard 1 and MVP. The other a number 1 overall draft pick just weeks before the season starts. Here's the story.
The Wizards shipped a future lottery-protected first-round pick to the Rockets on Wednesday night. Meanwhile, the reigning NBA champions, the Los Angeles Lakers, are nearing $190 million 5-year deal with Anthony Davis. His agent, Rich Paul, told ESPN that Davis, who is a free agent after his current Lakers deal expired, will sign the deal as soon as Thursday. The news came after LeBron James reportedly agreed an $85 million 2-year contract extension with the Lakers. Meanwhile, Wizards general manager Tommy Shepard welcomed the arrival of Westbrook.
Fans at Premier League matches will have to wear face masks at all times when they return this weekend as part of the plan to get stadiums back to 1/3 capacity by the end of the season. Here are more to the details.
Which also include a mandatory temperature check on arrival, go beyond the government's guidance. Supporters will also be told not to excessively sing or shout and to moderate their behavior so they do not high-five or hug. Agreed at a Premier League shareholders meeting yesterday, the regulations are part of a wider plan to show the government that football can safely handle the return of funds. The hope is some grounds could have up to 20,000 spectators by the end of the season, especially with the vaccine about to be rolled out.
The Manchester United Executive Vice Chairman Ed Woodward has signaled the club will not take part in any mooted European Breakaway League, saying that competition changes after 2024 must be complementary to thriving domestic leagues. Here is more to the story.
The European Club Association emphasized he's involved in the ECA's collaborative partnership with UEFA on strengthening of existing UEFA club competitions, widely expected to be an expansion of the Champions League. The prospect of a breakaway was raised again in October with suggestions that the bank JP Morgan had been asked by unnamed clubs to consider European Premier League. The departing Barcelona president Josep Maria Bartomeu then said in his final speech in the role that the club's board had agreed to accept the conditions required to participate in a future European Super League, a project led by Europe's big clubs.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. Thank you for watching and good night.
You can watch Capital News live on our social media accounts, YouTube Capital TV and Facebook Capital Television Tanzania from Monday to Friday at 9:30 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe and put notification on.
There are very many international organizations in the country.
Governments all around the world must collect taxes.
Could be any country in the world, and we only get to hear what they do in Tanzania.
Agriculture, in my view, is one of the main perspectives for
our embassies and high commission operate in Tanzania and how Tanzania can benefit from the presence of this organization, of these embassies in the country. And you can only catch it on the Monday Agenda, which is aired every Monday 8:45 to 9:30 here on Capital Television. Stay tuned.
Diamonds are forever